Have you ever stood at a bus stop, glanced down, and noticed those white lines painted on the pavement? Maybe you've seen them in crosswalks or on the side of the road. Perfect, straight, and evenly spaced. But have you ever felt like those lines just don't look right? Maybe you thought they were moving, bending, or forming strange patterns. Well, you're not alone. And there's a reason for that. Today, I'm diving into the mind-bending world of intersecting line illusions, specifically the crazy tricks that bus stop lines play on your brain. First, let's talk about what's really going on. These illusions usually start with something called the Hermann grid, or scintillating grid. It's a pattern of straight lines that cross each other, creating intersections and gaps. When you look at a simple grid, like the lines at a bus stop, your brain tries to make sense of the chaos. But your eyes and brain don't always get it right. Here's why. In your retina, there are cells called ganglion cells. They're kind of like tiny detectives, always comparing the light around them. When you stare at the intersections between bus stop lines, your brain gets confused by the high contrast areas. It tries to adjust, but ends up inventing strange, shadowy spots that don't actually exist. That's why you might see little grey blobs at each crossing, or feel like the lines are flickering or warping as you move your eyes. Now, why does your brain do this? It's all about survival, believe it or not. Your brain evolved to spot patterns and movement quickly. Super useful if you're a caveman dodging predators. But in the modern world, that pattern detection system sometimes goes haywire. When faced with a grid, your brain overcompensates, filling in the blanks and trying to predict what comes next. That's when reality gets a little wobbly. Here's a quick experiment. Next time you're at a bus stop, stare directly at a single intersection. Notice how the mysterious spots vanish. Now, shift your gaze just a bit and watch them pop right back into view. That's your peripheral vision getting tricked. Proof that your brain is working overtime to make sense of the simplest things. So, next time you're waiting for the bus and those white lines start to play tricks on your mind, remember? It's just your brain being incredibly clever, and sometimes a little too imaginative. Optical illusions like these remind me there's always more happening than meets the eye. Pretty cool, right?